What's up, YouTube? Money Mind, yeah, chilling in here once again. Get tongue-tied sometimes, but no. This is a response to why the Mexicans don't get blacks ahead of fade in the pen. Now, the simple answer is fear. Fear. Everything from YA to the pen, the rules were rooted in fear. And it's the ultimate fear is fear of the black man. Fear that the black man will overpower, outrule, and then eventually become the oppressor. So to prevent that, what do? They team up, link up, and become allies against the black man. But let me back on up. So, in prison ain't no one-on-ones, because if it's that serious, they can go to knife play, no hands-on policy. I've been in places like that, right? Where there's no hands-on policy, and I understand it. I don't agree with it. And see, this is where I draw the line. This is where I differ and disagree with Dubs, that there are things that are out of my control, right? In the pen, rules that we all got to live and abide by. Whether you're gang banging, whether you're not gang banging, whether you just roll with your kind, you roll with your race, right? But as a man, as an individual, and this is one thing I know, there's two types of man. Two types. You have one who's a follower and the other who's a leader. And so 99.9% of the prison population is content with being followers. Whenever you sit and say something like, that's just the way it is, this is the rules, you must not bend nowhere, you don't know, that is an indication of your inability to think. That's an indication of a person becoming complacent with oppression and oppressing others. It's never okay to victimize others. It's never okay to manipulate others. Okay? And so that's what's going on in the prison yards. You have a group of people that have become the powerhouse, that have become the authority, that have become the rules. Years ago, right? And they maybe have made some rules that today they have some loyalty, some loyalists, some soldiers that continue to implement discipline to anyone who dares to break them, or implement discipline to anybody who dares to ask the question why. So now the question has been posed today. It's been proposed. It's saying why? Why don't they give one-on-one a head up? I understand it's a safety issue, right? I understand the prison politics well. I done 22 years in the California prison system, and that's YA and the pen, right? And now we don't need to go and say, well, you ain't never been to the foe, or you ain't never been to the foe up in Pelican Bay, or you ain't never, because when people start doing that, when they try to make themselves seem superior because of their experiences, like one was deadlier than the other. I done been to every level and climbed through the ranks. And I can tell you all who are watching this video that I'm not impressed. On every level, you have the same thing. You have them two types of individuals, them leaders and them followers. You got those followers who are the majority, and the majority defines normal. These people don't think. It's not saying that they won't whoop your ass. It's not saying that they won't all jump on you and kill you and they won't be savage beasts. But these men have lost their ability to reason and stand up and be a real leader and say, I'm not doing that. Okay? So when it comes to prison and a black and a Mexican want to have a fight, that's a no-go. You made a good point. Why? Because it puts them both at jeopardy from getting killed, right? I understand that. And that's the way it's always been, in the sense of that's what keeps them safe. But now, 2022, the truth is most penitentiary yards is 50-50. What do I mean? I mean they are S and Y. Not S and Y all the way, but anything that got S and Y on it, in my opinion, is considered S and Y yard. It's not 50-50, it becomes, you know. So that's not to say everybody there's S and Y. That's to say that, look it, man. You got a GP yard, you got an S and Y yard. I ain't here to get into all that. We're going to stay on topic. It's fear, ladies and gentlemen. Fear. And the ultimate fear, who's always been oppressed, okay? And it's not like you don't have Mexicans that know how to fight. Of course you do. They throw them like the best of them, right? It's nothing about that. It's not like blacks are naturally born stronger and blacks are naturally good fighters and blacks are, that's all BS. See, and that's where the racism comes in. The rules is rooted in racism, and why I call it racism, because my definition of racism is anything that promotes a false theory to oppress others. So the false theory is that blacks are bigger, blacks are naturally born stronger, they was born that way. That's a false theory. And anytime you look for reasons to support your opinion and look for reasons to support your racist beliefs, I have to call it what it is. It's racism, okay? So when the blacks and the browns get into it, it's racism. It's not a gang thing, because some of them dudes ain't involved as far as they not gang related. I have no choice. I had no choice in the color of skin that was given to me here on this planet Earth, right? But I embrace it and I walk with it humbly and proudly, right? The struggles of the black man is real, okay? So anybody that wants to sit and justify racism in prison, anybody who wants to sit and make their experiences on a prison yard seem superior than others, like they're entitled to be the authority, I disagree with. I say that, you know, I disagree with, and I'm going to give you the black perspective on it, man, the black truth. And the truth of the matter is, them prison yards is full of people who are followers. Those people, these men, especially when you get to dealing with lifers, people who have life in prison. Imagine knowing that you're confined to cell, you'll never ever be in society and do some of the things that you may long to do. What people don't know about them prison yards is when you're around lifers, the lifers I've been around now, you know what I'm saying, on CMC, the lifers I've been around at Ironwood, the lifers I've been around up at Avenal, and the lifers I've been around on Donovan. They are trying to get home. They live for peace, and they, frankly, in my opinion, are a bunch of kiss asses. You know, they'll tell on you real fast. They work with the police in there to keep peace. And yeah, at the same time, they may be considered some type of leader or shot caller amongst their people. But see, game recognized game, man. Most of these dudes work with the police. They work with furthering the safety of the institution. Most of these guys, they become group leaders in prison. And what they do is they teach the curriculum, this self-help shit that California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, it promotes as though it's changing lives. So they have these inmates, these eager inmates, lifers, who's willing to do anything to get out, promote this brainwashing bullshit, okay? While, had they not did that, CDCR would have to pay an employee to do it. But instead of paying an employee, they rather have this lifer who wants to feel like somebody, stand in front of a group and preach master's bullshit, master's oppression, and pay him 60 cents and watch how he feels superior. But they do that because they know that he has influence over the people. They do that because they know he has loyalists under him. And they do that because they are aware that the prison population is full of followers. Brothers, I stand before you as a strong leader, strong black man, strong leader. I've been through the fire and haven't got burned. Never got burned. And that's not due to my superior strength and my superior knowledge. You know, that's due to the God, right? But I live this life too, man. And I got something to say about all this racism. You got the blacks on one side. You got the whites and the Mexicans and the police on the other. Right? That's how it is, man. And so back to these 50-50 yards, I'm gonna do a whole video on that. The S&Y yards, they're catching one-on-one fades. Ain't no structure like that, right? And I tell you what I've just witnessed less than a year ago. What I just witnessed up at Susanville, I witnessed blacks stealing white people's shit, taking their food, socking them out. I witnessed it. Blacks slapping Mexicans across the mouth. I witnessed it. Blacks, the Hoovers, pushing up deep in the phone line. Deep. All the way there, just pushed to the front. Cut the whole damn line. I witnessed it. And that's what happens when you don't have those type of politics in place. Then the Mexicans don't feel too safe. Right? It becomes the Wild Wild West. Right? It becomes whose gang is bigger, who gang is, and oh, the fear is out the window, right? The fear is, it becomes out the window. I don't know, man. I say this. I prefer it to be structured with the politics. I prefer it to be like that versus how it was over there in Susanville, right? At the same time, I disagree with those who say they promote a better way of life, those who say they promote empathy for their victims, and those who want to appear like they are a spokesman or a spokesperson or representation for a certain way of life. I would say this: I'm offering an alternative view, right? That's all this is. This is an alternative view. And I'll say all that with respect, you know, to everybody that's listening. Now, to my subscribers, I want y'all to keep on commenting, leaving comments. Whether you hating or not, go ahead and leave the comment. It don't matter to me, because I've been there. I've been in them wars, right? And my opinion is, man to man, they should handle it like man. But see, that's assuming a lot. That's assuming that just because he got nuts and he's in the California penal system, he's a man. Most of these dudes is children. They still have a childish mentality. Okay? They come straight from YA to the pen. Only thing that happens is the violence elevates. The criminality elevates. They're still stuck in those ways and stuck in those beliefs. Right? They've never ever paused and challenged them. You know? So there's certain gangs, man, certain people, just in I'll say my experience, there's certain gangs, certain people that when I see and I know what gang they're from, it automatically registers that they're a racist. And it may be true or may not be. I may need to deal with them on an individual level, but based on my experiences with the Longos, everybody from East Side Longo, West Side, all the little Longos is racist. You know, that goes without saying. You know, there's some other racist gangs out there. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Niggas that hate niggas. Why though? Why do everybody hate the black man but at the same time want to be like him? Why? Why? You know? And in a simple answer, it comes down to fear, man. It comes down to fear. Fear that the black man is going to take their money. Fear that the black man is going to take their women. Fear that the black man is going to take everything. And that's the truth, man. So they try to even it out, even if they got the more numbers and stuff like that. Hey, and by the way, man, I don't hate Mexicans, man. I grew up with Mexicans. I didn't know they was even Mexican. They was with it. I didn't know it until later on in life, you know. So people can't say that. I'm just gonna keep the real though. I'm gonna speak the real, man. The real is that there's some people who are oppressing another group of people, but the people who are oppressing another group of people are working with the police. Okay? Be careful of these lifers, especially the ones who got out. Now, because the things they did to get out was dishonorable. And I'm going to let you know that, man. It was dishonorable. Be careful of anybody who was in the shoe, and got out, especially if they documented gang members, because especially this is fact. Especially the Southsiders, the Sureños, it's the fact that they have to do the step down program, that they have to debrief. What they debrief about, I don't know. I wasn't there. But debrief, code word for snitching. You know, so you can have all the tattoos in the world, you can tell all these fancy stories, but you're not fooling nobody. You see, because I watch this stuff unfold right before my eyes, and I dare not utter or say another word while I was in the belly of the beast, you know. But it don't mean I didn't see what I seen. I seen these dudes, man. I knew who these dudes was. Getting the phones, getting the, you know, selling the phones. Just a week later, so the police can come take them and give them right back to the Mexicans so they can sell them again. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a lot more, man. It should get deeper than rap. Everything ain't all, everything that glitter ain't gold, and everything that's tatted up ain't a gangster, man. And that don't take away from nobody, man. I don't speak in subliminals, man. I'm speaking live and direct. I got respect for Dubs, for what I believe you're trying to do. I disagree with you on your standpoint. It sounds like you support the prison politics, you know, when in the spirit of truth, I think you should be advocating that people do re-examine some of these things, re-examine some of these beliefs, these old beliefs that we have, and we challenge them. We stand up and we challenge them as men, you know, not as little boys being followers, okay, but as men. So that's Money Manye, man. That's my take on the situation. Y'all go ahead and hit the subscribe and become part of the Money Tribe. I'm gone.